While there is no clear figure for Black Caribbean women in their 50s, national data shows that among children in England, the autism prevalence in Black pupils was about roughly 2.11%, which is higher than the national average of 1.76%. We know that Black communities across different cultures have extra barriers, less recognition, more stigma, fewer culturally tailored services. So it is quite possible many older Black women have lived for decades without the diagnosis. Globally and in the UK, older adults are very undiagnosed. Some studies suggest that up to 9 to 10 autistic adults in their 40s to 50s may never have been diagnosed. Therefore, in my own journey as a Black middle-aged Caribbean woman exploring autism and ADHD is part of a much larger trend, though not well tracked by research. I am Zana Monique, the creator of LOC'D Chronic. This is the LNC podcast, and I have just been officially diagnosed with autism, and I'm about to start my assessment for ADHD. This podcast is for education and reflection only. I share my personal experiences of chronic illness, mental health, and hidden disabilities. I am not a medical or mental health professional. Please seek advice from your doctor or a qualified professional for any concerns about your own health. So today I just basically want to have a real chat about this big thing that's been sitting with me for quite some time. I finally started really connecting the dots with being autistic, and now even more recently being ADHD as well. It's basically what a lot of people now call ADHD, which I think is really cool. For the longest time, I thought that there were parts of me that were just too much, too quiet, depending on the day, depending on the situation, depending on family situations and all that sort of thing. Now I'm realizing that it wasn't just me being difficult or complicated or weird or dumb. It was because my brain was just wired differently from conception. Honestly, right now I have a mix of relief, confusion, gratitude, freedom, anxiety, all the things. Most specifically because I wish I knew a bit earlier. So relief because I can finally make sense of things, and it's not just me being ridiculous. It actually makes sense. I have a why. I need a why. Confusion because I lived in a family with quite a few medical people and learned people around me. And I wondered why people didn't just think that something down that direction could have been going on and give me and provide help for me sooner. And gratitude because even in my 50s, God still brings clarity, most especially when I need it most. Making sure that everything aligns so that I could get my diagnosis, so I can get my assessment, the Lord has been so good. Anxious and all that because at this age, my mask has been really coming down and I can't really control that. And in a sense, that's a really good thing. I'm really glad about it. But yeah, it then makes me think about how I'm perceived even more. But I don't want that to be a big issue. You know, getting this understanding of myself feels like meeting the real me for the very first time in my life, and that's why I have designated in myself, and I grabbed this from my son when I told my kids that I got the diagnosis. My son told me, "Happy Diagnosis Day, Mommy," and he was so happy for me. And I grabbed that, and I'm going to celebrate every October 17th as my diagnosis day, like a new birthday. It was on October 17th that I learned that I am not broken, I'm not lazy. I'm not too sensitive. I'm not complicated. I'm not dumb. I'm not slow. I'm not all of those negative words. My brain is just built that way. And that's fantastic. It has been a really long road, even beyond the 2.5 years that I officially was trying to figure out what on earth it was that was going on with me. I grew up in the Caribbean, where words like autism and ADHD back in the day, you just didn't hear that. You were called quiet, moody, distracted, too forward, too rude, and all the other things. So, like many of us, I learned to mask, and from what my doctors have told me, I learned to mask very well. Therefore, I learned to be fake very well. That's such a discovery, especially since I don't like fake. I did that to blend in as much as I could and to survive, but most importantly, not to make other people feel uncomfortable with me as who I was or am. So fast forward to adult, now here I am with the sun and all, and I'm about to put on my glasses. I am juggling chronic illnesses, mental health, work life. I am now postmenopausal, and suddenly all the traits have now lined up and have made sense through the lens of my autism. I have had to sit down with psychiatrists and do tests, balance all the other medical appointments I had, and still remind myself that understanding who I am is not a setback. I still got to get that in my head. It really and truly is a big part of my healing, because masking can be really traumatic. It can really ruin your mental health. So to be very honest, my true healing, my true management of my healing has only started very recently. Just like that, the sun has decided to hide behind the clouds. So here I go. So why am I doing this at this time? I believe that representation really matters, especially when it comes to really small percentages of a demographic that is not really recorded at all, that they don't get the support that they need. They are ignored, even if it is not deliberately, maybe. But yeah, it's super important. There are a lot of people that are like me who are out there who've been wondering for all their lives why they don't feel normal, whatever that is, or why they don't feel as if they fit in and stuff. And that needs to change. There are barely any conversations about Black Caribbean women in their 50s getting diagnosed or even being recognized as neurodivergent, and yet the data shows that we actually exist. We, whether it be deliberate or not, have actually been overlooked. In the UK, studies have shown that Black adults screen higher for ADHD, for instance, around 13% compared to 10% for our PAM-colored counterparts. When it comes to autism, people that look like me, pupils, show a prevalence of around 2.1 higher, as I said before, over the national average of 1.7%. And research shows that up to 90% of them remained undiagnosed. People like me aren't necessarily rare per se. It's just that we are unseen. We are not searched for, sought out, and taken care of. In our communities, people still say things like, "You too hard airs," or "You too fussy," or "You too rude." We weren't given the words. We were just labeled as problems. Oh my goodness. Was I? Yes, I was. But now I finally have the language for what I always felt, and I think that's really important for others who are just like me. So if you are listening to this and any of this at all sounds like you, please don't ignore it. Please don't leave it. Please don't leave it. It's never too late to actually understand yourself, and it is not all just like, oh, but what are you finding out that for? That ain't gonna do that. No, it's really important because, as I said, masking really messes up your health. Imagine you being someone that you're not for all your life. Come on. You deserve the same compassion and care that you actually give everyone else by masking to help everybody else. If no one told you today, let me tell you this right now. You are not lazy. You are not crazy. You are actually learning how your brain works. And that is something to be very proud of. So yeah, this is me. I will be sharing more of my journey with you because I really want to branch more into my advocacy work, most especially in this field. So keep a watchful eye out for more things that I will be doing. Please remember, this is for folks that are like me. It's not just for the kids. It's for everybody who grew up not knowing their language. Okay? Very important. So thank you so much for being here. Let me know if this is you. Let me know if this is you. And I can't take the sun. I need this. I can't take the light. I can talk to you later.